Princess Anne did 478 engagements in 2025. William started copying that number. Camilla should be terrified. Levin documented it. Jobson confirmed it. The court circular proved it. She taught him to outwork Camilla, out-silence her, strip her allies without raising his voice. I'm revealing 15 things Princess Anne has been teaching William. From the grandmother rule, to the body language weapon, to the workload record destroying Camilla's credibility. Number 8 is the lesson William used at the last public event. Staff noticed immediately. And 15? That's the weapon Princess Anne built over decades that William is now aiming directly at Camilla's legacy. It starts with grandchildren. Number 1, the grandmother rule. Royal author Angela Levin revealed something in her book that stopped me cold. William told his children they have 2 grandfathers, but only 1 grandmother. And that grandmother is Diana. Think about that. Camilla has been queen since May 2023. She lives in the same palaces, attends the same events, but George, Charlotte, and Louis don't call her grandma. William made that decision. He drew the line, and Angela Levin confirmed it in print. But here's what most people miss. Princess Anne did the same thing with her own children decades ago. Zara and Peter were raised with clear boundaries about family. Princess Anne kept them grounded, out of the spotlight, away from the institution's influence. Princess Anne modeled the rule. William enforced it. Same principle. Next generation. Camilla spent 20 years trying to earn the title grandmother from those children. William closed that door before she ever got close. And Princess Anne showed him exactly how to do it without making a scene. William told his children, 1 grandmother, Diana, not Camilla. Princess Anne drew that line first. William made it permanent. The grandmother rule set the boundary. But what Princess Anne taught William next, about how to behave when the institution is in crisis, played out live on television in February 2026. Number 2, the duty lesson. February 19, 2026. Andrew was arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public office. The royal family was in freefall. And what did Princess Anne do? She visited a prison. Same day, full schedule, no cancellations. Royal Central confirmed it. I need you to hear what that teaches. While every other royal was scrambling for cover, Princess Anne showed up to work. That's the lesson. You don't hide, you don't comment, you work. And William? He attended a London Fashion Week event the same day Charles issued his statement about Andrew. Same principle. Crisis hits. You don't cancel. You don't release a statement. You show up somewhere else and do your job. The contrast writes itself, and the press writes the headline for you. Camilla was reportedly scrambling behind the scenes over the Andrew fallout. Princess Anne was shaking hands at a prison gate. William was walking into a fashion event. The lesson landed. Andrew gets arrested. Princess Anne visits a prison. Same day, that's not coincidence. That's a philosophy. And William learned it from watching her. Duty first. But the next lesson is the one Princess Anne demonstrated publicly. And it made Charles furious. She challenged the king. To his face. On camera. Number 3. The challenge. In May 2023, Princess Anne publicly criticized Charles's slimmed-down monarchy plan. CBC News reported it. Multiple outlets confirmed. Princess Anne argued that reducing the number of working royals was a mistake, that the institution needed more hands, not fewer. She said it publicly during Charles's coronation year. Stay with me. A princess challenging a king's signature policy. On the record, during his coronation year. That takes nerve that most royals wouldn't dream of. Every other royal stayed quiet. Every other royal accepted the policy. Princess Anne didn't, and William watched. He watched Princess Anne disagree with power and survive. Actually, let me rephrase. She didn't survive. She thrived. Her approval rating stayed higher than Camilla's. William learned the most dangerous lesson a future king can learn. You can push back against the sitting king publicly, and the country will side with you. The establishment won't punish you. The press won't destroy you. If your argument is solid and your work ethic is clean, you're untouchable. Princess Anne proved it. William is using it. Princess Anne challenged the king, on camera, during his coronation year. And nothing happened to her. William took notes. Princess Anne challenged Charles and survived, but the next lesson is about what you don't do. And it's the contrast that cuts Camilla deepest. Number 4, the anti-PR lesson. Camilla did a British Vogue cover shoot in 2022. Soft lighting, styled photographs, an image rehabilitation campaign 30 years in the making. Princess Anne has never done a Vogue interview, never done a glossy magazine cover, never hired a PR team to reshape her image, not once in 50 years of public life. That's the lesson. Don't play the media game. Let the work speak. And William? He and Kate have never done a reputation rehabilitation campaign. They've never needed one. Princess Anne taught by example. If you need a magazine cover to prove you belong, you probably don't. Camilla needed Vogue. Princess Anne never needed anything but the work. William learned the difference. No PR games. But the next lesson involves titles, and what Princess Anne did with her own children that William is now replicating with his. Number 5, the title shield. Princess Anne refused titles for her children. Zara Tindall and Peter Phillips are commoners by choice. Vanity Fair reported in 2020 that Princess Anne said there are downsides to having titles, and she wanted her children free from them. Sound familiar? William and Kate have been raising George, Charlotte, and Louis with increasing distance from the formal apparatus. Windsor, state school considerations, limited public appearances, Princess Anne's philosophy. Protect them from the institution that chewed up Diana. William's application. Keep them as normal as the system allows. Charlotte goes to school like any other child. George isn't paraded at state events. The title shield Princess Anne built for Zara and Peter is the same shield William is building for his children, just adapted to the heir's constraints. Princess Anne refused titles for her kids. William is raising his the same way. Camilla wanted the full coronation. Princess Anne and William want their children free of it. Titles rejected. But lesson 6 is where the teaching turned tactical, and William used it against Camilla directly in February 2026. Number 6, the ultimatum. In February 2026, Radar Online reported that William hit Camilla with an ultimatum. Cut ties with Sarah Ferguson completely. No ambiguity. An insider said, the only responsible strategy is total separation from Fergie and Andy. Camilla complied, dropped her friend, ended the association. Does that sound like a man who learned to be gentle? Princess Anne has been issuing ultimatums for decades. Her bluntness is documented by every biographer who's ever interviewed palace staff. She doesn't negotiate, she doesn't suggest, she states. William watched that approach his entire life, and when the moment came to use it against Camilla, he used it exactly the way Princess Anne would. William gave Camilla an ultimatum: drop Fergie or face consequences, and she did it. That's Princess Anne's playbook, executed perfectly. The ultimatum landed. But lesson 7 is the slow weapon, the one Princess Anne has been wielding for decades that destroys Camilla a little more every January when the numbers come out. Number 7, the workload weapon. 478. That's how many royal engagements Princess Anne completed in 2025, according to Hello Magazine's January 2026 analysis of official court circular data. She was the hardest working royal for the 3rd year running. Camilla? Significantly fewer. The gap isn't close. I want to get to number 8, the body language lesson. But first, understand what this number does. Every January, every newspaper in Britain publishes the engagement rankings, and every January, Camilla's name sits below Princess Anne's. Year after year, the comparison is automatic, permanent, and devastating. William has watched this dynamic his entire life, and in 2025, he ramped up his own schedule. Us Weekly reported he was becoming more serious about his workload. He's building the same weapon Princess Anne built: work more, say less. Let the numbers do the talking. Every engagement William adds is another line on the court circular that Camilla can't match. And here's what makes it lethal. Neither Princess Anne nor William ever needs to mention Camilla's name. The comparison is built into the system. It publishes automatically. every January, like clockwork. 478 engagements. Princess Anne doesn't need to say anything about Camilla. The court circular says it for her. And now William is building the same record. The numbers speak, but Lesson 8 is silent. And staff noticed it at the last public event they attended together. Number 8, the body language. Multiple body language experts have documented what happens when Princess Anne and Camilla are in the same room. Distance, minimal eye contact, no warmth, no unnecessary interaction. It's consistent, it's deliberate, and William does the same thing. Let that land. At public events, William maintains physical distance from Camilla. He positions himself near Kate, near Princess Anne, near Edward and Sophie. The arrangement isn't random, it's architectural. Princess Anne taught him the geography of a room. Where you stand is a statement. Who you stand near is a verdict. Princess Anne keeps her distance. William keeps his distance. They don't need to say a word. The room says it for them. The body language speaks. But Lesson 9 is about what you say when you do speak, and Princess Anne's method is legendary. Number 9, the humor shield. Princess Anne's deadpan takedowns are documented and beloved. At the Six Nations Rugby, when asked about royal protocol, she dismissed the question with a one-liner that went viral. At Wormwood Scrubs, she delivered remarks so dry the press couldn't tell if she was joking. The Royal Observer covered it in January 2026. And honestly, this is the part where you see it in William. His public humor has sharpened the dry wit, the deflections, the ability to say something cutting while smiling. That's not Kate's influence. Kate is warmth. That's Princess Anne's influence. The ability to dismiss without confrontation, to cut without bleeding. Princess Anne's humor is a weapon, dry, sharp, impossible to quote against her, and William is using it now. Same delivery, same timing, same effect. Humor deflects, but Lesson 10 is about alliances, and who Princess Anne taught William to trust instead of Camilla. Number 10, the alliance map. At Cheltenham in March 2026, Princess Anne was photographed in warm conversation with Carol Middleton, Kate's mother, not Camilla, Carol. Multiple events across 2025 and 2026 show the same pattern. Princess Anne gravitates toward Kate and the Middleton family. Her relationship with Camilla remains visibly cold. We haven't reached 15 yet, the workload weapon aimed at Camilla's legacy. We're almost there. But first, William is replicating this alliance map exactly. His inner circle, Kate, Princess Anne, Edward, Sophie, the Middletons. Camilla is not in the frame. Not at the dinners, not in the planning sessions, not in the photographs that matter. The architecture of the next reign is being built right now, person by person, event by event, and Camilla isn't in the blueprint. Princess Anne made sure of that. Princess Anne stands with Kate. William stands with Princess Anne. Camilla stands alone. The alliance map is already drawn. Alliances chosen. But Lesson 11 is about what you skip, and the signal it sends when a future king refuses to attend the Queen's favorite event. Number 11, the selective absence. William openly dislikes Royal Ascot. Marie Claire reported in June 2025 that a racing source confirmed it isn't really his thing. He's handed the tradition to Zara Tyndall, Princess Anne's daughter. The one place Camilla feels most comfortable as queen is being transferred to Diana's extended family through Princess Anne's bloodline. Camilla's favorite event, William handed it to Princess Anne's daughter. That's not indifference. That's a message. The absence speaks. But Lesson 12 goes deeper, into the institutional decisions that both Princess Anne and William prioritized over personal loyalty. Number 12, the Andrew Principle. Both Princess Anne and William pushed for stripping Andrew of his titles. Royal writer Russell Myers confirmed in his book that William had warned for years that Andrew must be banished before the rot sets in. Princess Anne supported the removal. Charles resisted. But Princess Anne and William held the line together. Institutional reputation over personal relationships, every time. Princess Anne and William stood together against Andrew. Charles hesitated. Camilla said nothing. Princess Anne and William acted. That tells you who's running the monarchy behind the curtain, and it isn't the king. Institutions over relationships, but Lesson 13 is about lifestyle. And the contrast Princess Anne set up that makes Camilla look out of touch. Number 13, the modesty standard. Princess Anne lives at Gatcombe Park. No staff fanfare, working farm. William and Kate moved to a modest cottage on the Windsor estate. No live-in staff. Meanwhile, Camilla pursued a private library project at Buckingham Palace. The contrast is deliberate. Princess Anne taught by living it for 5 decades. The quieter you live, the louder the public trusts you. No renovations, no interior designers, no lifestyle features in glossy magazines. William and Kate adopted the same approach. Camilla's lifestyle becomes the outlier, and the outlier is always the target. When the press publishes a story about royal spending, who do they photograph? The one in the palace, not the one on the farm. Princess Anne taught William that optics aren't about what you say, they're about how you live. Princess Anne lives on a farm. William lives in a cottage. Camilla lives in a palace. Who do you think the public trusts? Modesty builds trust. But Lesson 14 is about who Princess Anne and William are elevating, and it isn't Camilla. Number 14, the Edinburgh Alliance. Robert Jobson reported in March 2026 that William is elevating Edward and Sophie, now the Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh, into more prominent roles. Princess Anne has worked closely with the Edinburghs for years. The alliance is documented across duchy reports and joint engagements. The next reign's inner circle is forming. William, Kate, Princess Anne, Edward, Sophie, 5 people. Camilla's name is absent, and that absence isn't an accident. It's Princess Anne's blueprint for a monarchy that doesn't need Camilla to function. 5 names in the inner circle. William, Kate, Princess Anne, Edward, Sophie. Count Camilla's name. It isn't there. The inner circle is set, and the final lesson, the one Princess Anne has been building for 40 years, is the weapon William is now aiming directly at Camilla's legacy. Number 15, the legacy weapon. And 15, the lesson that ties all of them together. Princess Anne's workload record isn't a personal achievement. It's a standard, a permanent, public, annually published standard that every other royal is measured against, including Camilla. Every year the court circular publishes, Camilla falls short. Every year the comparison prints, Princess Anne wins. And now William is building the same record, engagement by engagement, year by year. Princess Anne didn't teach William to attack Camilla. She taught him something more effective. She taught him to outwork her, to outsilence her, to outlast her, to build a record so clean and so consistent that Camilla's entire rehabilitation campaign collapses under the weight of comparison. You can spend millions on PR, you can do Vogue covers, you can stage charity visits, but when the numbers print in January and Princess Anne has 100 more engagements than you, none of it matters. The scoreboard doesn't lie. It publishes every year, and every year Camilla falls further behind. 15 lessons, from the grandmother rule to the workload weapon, from duty to body language to alliances to silence. Princess Anne spent decades building the playbook. William is executing it. And Camilla? Camilla is watching 2 generations of royals, the aunt and the nephew, the hardest working princess and the future king, close ranks around her, without ever raising their voices, without ever making a public accusation, without giving her a single thing to fight back against. That's the genius of what Princess Anne built. Decades of patience, decades of discipline. There's nothing to deny. There's nothing to counter. There's only the work, and the work speaks. Princess Anne built the playbook over decades. William is executing it now. They don't shout, they don't fight, they outwork her, they outsilence her, and Camilla can feel it closing in. 15 things Princess Anne has been teaching William about Camilla, and he's using every one against her. But there's still one move Camilla is counting on to survive this. One strategy she believes will protect her when Charles is gone. She thinks if she stays close enough to William now, he won't have the heart to cut her off later. But William already proved that theory wrong. 15 times over, If you want to see the 15 things Camilla is begging Charles to guarantee before he dies, and why William hasn't committed to a single one, that video is right here.